that everybody's dead. I was raised in a deep, dark hole, a prisoner.
If I was to ask somebody what is the best modern Resident Evil game, I'd probably get 10 different answers. Some people swear by the Resident Evil 2 remake. I can agree with that, it's a pretty good game. But some others think that Resident Evil 4 remake is Capcom's masterpiece. But there are other players who still believe Resident Evil 7 is the scariest game in the entire franchise. And now, with Requiem, has changed the conversation with its own unique take on survival horror. But in today's video, we're asking a different question. Which one is the most replayable? Because finishing a Resident Evil game once is easy. The final test, whether it makes you want to start another playthrough 5 minutes after the credits roll. And replay value is where great Resident Evil games become legendary. It's why some players have beaten Resident Evil 4 over 50 times, while other players never touch certain games again after their first ending. So today, we're ranking every modern Resident Evil game from Resident Evil 7 to Resident Evil 9 Requiem based on one thing. Which one gives you the biggest reason to keep coming back? And I have a feeling my number one pick is going to start an argument. And of course, guys, if you guys enjoy these videos, please smash the like button and subscribe. I've been dealing with a strep throat and sinus infection for the past week. That's why I haven't uploaded. I sincerely apologize. But I am back now, and I'm going to upload more. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into it. Actually, what makes a Resident Evil game replayable? Right before we rank anything, let's agree on what replay value actually means. It's not just the game length, it's not even how good the game is. A masterpiece isn't automatically replayable. Instead, replay value comes from asking one simple question. After I finish this game, why should I play it again? Maybe it's different endings, maybe it's better unlockables, maybe it's randomized items, maybe every run feels different, or maybe the gameplay is simply so satisfying that you never get tired of it. With that in mind, let's start with the game that struggles the most. Can I just say really quick, I really hate to put this game last, because I really enjoy this game. Not because of Jill Valentine. Alright, maybe a little bit. But I really do enjoy this game. Alright, yeah, maybe not. Alright, actually stick to the script this time. Like I said, I actually really like the Resident Evil 3 remake. The action is smooth. The dodging zombies is incredibly satisfying. Thank fuck. Carlos, personally, I don't like Carlos. I mean, he has fantastic moments, but I wasn't a whole fan of his side of the story. Also, maybe because of Joe Valentine. But the game never really wastes your time. Ironically, that's also its biggest weakness. Resident Evil 3 remake moves so fast, it barely gives itself room to evolve. Most puzzles never change, and the enemy encounters stay almost identical. Nemesis' bitch ass follows you the same scripted path every single playthrough. I didn't know that. There are unlockable weapons. There's Inferno mode, which, if you have explosive diarrhea, that's exactly what it feels like. Nightmare mode remixes the placement of enemies, but once you've experienced those, you've basically seen everything. Compare that to games where every replay changes your strategy. I cannot say this word. Strategy.
Crazy, dog.
Resident Evil 3 simply runs out of surprises. It's still fun, it just doesn't stay fresh for very long. I'm sorry, but Resident Evil 3 is unfortunately going last.
Aww. Welcome to the family, son.
Man, oh man, I really hate to put this here. I really hope my friend isn't watching, because she's probably gonna beat the shit out of me. because this is her favorite Resident Evil game. But you know, I must do what must be done. Resident Evil 7 brought Resident Evil back from the dead. Quite literally. But if I'm being honest, I was a Resident Evil kid from when I was younger. I played all the ones, all the OGs, all of that. Weird flex. Old as shit, by the way. No, I'm not. Anyway, after years of increasingly action-heavy games, Capcom reminded everyone what survival horror actually felt like. The Baker family, unforgettable. Especially that pod of worms. Anyway, exploring the mansion for the first time is unforgettable. I don't know if I would call it the mansion, but you know. But there's one problem. Resident Evil 7 relies heavily on fear. Now, fear is important to a horror game, obviously. But fear depends on uncertainty. Once you know exactly what's behind every door, a lot of that magic disappears. Thankfully, Capcom knew this. Madhouse mode changes every placement, items move around, the resources become scarier, boss fights become much tougher, unlocking the circular saw feels incredibly rewarding. There's infinite ammo that makes future runs much faster, but despite all those additions, most of the campaign still unfolds exactly the same way. It's an amazing, incredible horror game, just not the strongest replay machine. So, in that case, Resident Evil 7 goes in number 5 for replay value.
Mother Miranda, I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg. Because he is in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle. When I find him... No, Mother Miranda. Yes, of course, I understand the importance of the ceremony. I won't let you down.
Resident Evil Village looks like Capcom looked at RE7 and asked, what if we made replaying this actually fun? The answer was New Game Plus. Suddenly, Ethan isn't struggling to survive anymore. He's destroying Lycans. Sorry, I know I just butchered that so hard. I couldn't even say the word strategy. For fuck's sake. With maxed out magnums. The Duke's shop encourages experimentation, and different weapon builds creates entirely new playstyles. Then, there's Mercenaries. If you're chasing high scores, then Village suddenly becomes a completely different game. But certain sections don't really benefit from repeat playthroughs. Host Beneviento, I know I just butchered that as well, sorry. It's terrifying. Exactly once after that, it's mostly a scripted sequence. The opening Village attack loses some tension, the escape sequences become very predictable, and Village absolutely improves replayability over RE7. But it still isn't one of Capcom's all-time kings. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Village myself, so I would put this at 6. But I'm basing this off the community, so, you know. But Resident Evil Village goes number 4.
Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
Resident Evil Requiem is still writing its legacy. I mean, it just came out. But first impressions suggest that Capcom built this game with replayability in mind. Instead of sticking to one style, it embraces multiple. So, for Grace's slower survival-focused gameplay rewards careful planning and exploration and resource management, Leon offers a more combat-oriented experience that encourages faster, more aggressive play. Yeah, I'm sure he does a lot more than that. But anyway, then there's the ability to switch between first-person and third-person perspectives, giving players another way to experience the campaign, which, by the way, I really enjoy that. Even if you already know the story, the changing perspectives can make familiar encounters feel surprisingly different. Also, the deluxe they put with Resident Evil Requiem is very, very good. I think they did an awesome job on it. They just need a new DLC. But based on what we've seen, Resident Evil Requiem, it already offers more reasons to replay than most modern Resident Evil games. Whether it eventually reaches the level of Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4, only time will tell. I do want to say that Resident Evil Requiem, I keep replaying the demo because I don't have the game, but I keep seeing myself going back to play the demo, and I really, really enjoy it, even though it's only like, what, 35-minute demo or whatever. I still really enjoy it, and I keep seeing myself go back to replaying it. So when I do get the game, I have a feeling I will reach 100 hours in 2 weeks. I can guarantee that. Resident Evil Requiem. It just came out this year, but it's already being slapped in my top 3. If you want my personal opinion, I think the Grace running animation, where she falls over, adds like an extra level of stress and realism. And then Leon's just being the sexy pretty boy he is. So, but I just think the whole plot of Resident Evil Requiem, there's still fucking lickers in there, by the way. Capcom, you know how much I hate lickers. Can we not add them into the next game, please? Thank you. But yeah, Resident Evil Requiem is in my top 3, and probably will be for a while because I really enjoy the game, and I really am glad of Capcom exploring new stuff with the Resident Evil franchise. So, top 3.
I'm sure we're gonna find him. Damn it. You know what that means?
Yeah. Dinner time.
Before I say my script, Resident Evil 2 is peak. I'm trying not to swear, but Resident Evil 2 is legitimately so fun. For me, replaying video games, like I tend to just play the story and then I'll play the rest. But Resident Evil 2, I have never gotten a notebook out, written down every puzzle piece, especially them lab capsules. If you know, you know. But the medallions, the safes, everything. I've never done that before. But with Resident Evil 2, I almost have 300 hours, and I have never done that with a game before. But I did used to speedrun games when I was younger. I used to speedrun the whole Batman Arkham franchise. But this game was my first Resident Evil game I've ever speedrun. And I got 1 hour and 8 minutes was my best time. I'm so proud of that, by the way. Anyway, let's go back to the video. Alright, I'm so sorry about that whole side rant. But anyway, this game was practically designed for multiple playthroughs. You beat Leon, now play Claire. You finish Claire.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Finish Claire's scenario. Then try the B scenario. Now try hardcore. Now aim for S rank. Now try without using the item box. Now unlock infinite weapons. Now speedrun it. Try the minimalist. Every replay asks you to solve problems differently. Mr. X, yeah, he changes the pace. You can do some ammo management. You can try different weapons and alter combat encounters. Even after dozens of hours, Resident Evil 2 Remake still finds ways to surprise you. It understands something incredibly important. Replayability isn't about adding more content. It's about making the same content feel different every time. And almost nobody does that better, almost, than our number 1.
Mr. Kennedy, who the hell are you? Me? Oh, please, call me Ramon. And allow me to get straight to the point.
You talk too much.
Failed!
You vulgar, utterly uncivilized mongrel!
Resident Evil 4. Where do I even begin? First of all, this is totally not my number 1 because of Ada. Totally. Anyway, Resident Evil 4 Remake isn't just replayable, it's one of the most replayable games Capcom has ever made. Everything feeds into another run. You have professional mode, S+ ranked, Ashley armor, Chicago sweeper, cat ears, especially on Ada. It looks really cute. Anyway, you have the infinite rocket launcher, hand cannon, primal knife, merchant request, treasure optimizations, weapon experimentation, challenge run, randomizer mods on PC. No two weapons feel the same. A shotgun focus run feels completely different from a bolt action rifle run. The combat sandbox constantly creates the unscripted moments. One Ganando throws dynamite, another picks up a weapon, someone transforms into the Plaga. Suddenly, your carefully planned strategy falls apart. And that's exactly why every playthrough feels exciting. Even after your 20th run, you're still discovering faster routes, smarter strategies, way better weapon combinations. That's the hallmark of incredible replayability. The game isn't just asking you to replay it, it's practically begging you to. Okay, final ranking. So at number 6 I have Resident Evil 3. Again, I really hate to put it here because I really enjoy this game, but it's just short, but it's fun, but it's very limited. Number 5 we have Resident Evil 7. Amazing first experience, solid unlockables, less rewarding after multiple runs. Resident Evil Village, excellent new game plus. Mercenaries add longevity. Some story sections lose impact. Resident Evil Requiem, a promising blend of survival horror and action without multiple ways to experience the campaign, though its long-term replay reputation is still being established. Number 2, Resident Evil 2. Haha. Masterfully designed for repeated playthroughs, different characters, different scenarios, constant challenge, always adapting. Resident Evil 4 is your most replayable Resident Evil game of all time. Capcom perfected it with the gameplay loop. Every completion unlocks another reason to play again. It's not just the most replayable modern Resident Evil game, it's one of the most replayed action horror games ever made. Now it's your turn. What's the Resident Evil game you always come back to? Do you agree with that Resident Evil 4 remake deserves the crown, or do you think Resident Evil 2 remake's multiple scenario gives the edge? Maybe you're one of them players who finished Resident Evil 7 more times than you can count. Whatever your ranking is, please drop it in the comments, because if there's one thing about Resident Evil fans can never agree on, it's this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash the like button, subscribe. This is one of my most edited videos, and I'm super proud of it, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I'm sorry for the late upload. Been sick as a dog lately, but yeah, I can't wait to get back at it. Alright, boys and ladies, make sure you stay safe out there and stay smiling.